This episode of the show was sponsored by our patron Julio. A big shout out to him. And if you want to support the show, you can go on tangentpodcast.com or on patreon.com/tangentpodcast. But now, let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tangent Podcast here. That's a funny, relevant meme, right?
No, you gotta do like
welcome
Leafy.
to
Hey, what's up, guys? Tangent Podcast.
No, I have some respect for myself, okay?
What?
And I have a chin.
Okay, actually.
Okay.
Quick question. What do you think about Leafy? All right, just thinking about it.
Okay, I also have to talk about iDubbbz, and I have opinions about iDubbbz, but I think I was subbed to Leafy for about 2 months. Around, I think it was mid 2017 or 2016. I don't really remember.
Right, it was
when
like
Leafy
2016. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I remember I was like a sophomore in high school. So yeah. And I was subbed to him because I enjoyed him just talking about things, and he seemed like a pretty down to earth guy who just recorded stuff at his house, and that's something I like on YouTube. It makes me feel like it's more original.
Right.
But then, his content, I don't know if it got worse or I just,
Grew
matured.
up,
But after a while, I'm like, wow, this guy's pretty scummy. He just makes fun of kids and, disabled people.
Yeah.
And just, weirdos. And it's like, yeah, that's fine, in small amounts. Say the guy who says he summoned Satan and stuff is a weirdo. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't make, a 20-minute video and then have all your, fervent fans go and attack the guy that's too much. And I think his downfall was justified because he was this I think almost like cancer on YouTube. He was really changing the direction of the site because of how popular he was. And the iDubbbz video on him, I think it's probably his worst content cop because it just seemed like ad hominems the whole time with the chin jokes. And that's funny once, just once in the video, oh, he has no chin. Funny.
But you know why I think that happened? I'm not too sure if you saw this, but there was this video by, I think the channel's name was Koromaru. I'll have to put up a link in the show notes. But it was basically a hit piece on H3H3. And I don't think I should call it a hit piece. I think it should be more like blasting the truth. Because I liked, and I still kind of like H3. But basically, from what I understand is that H3 kind of did a call out on Leafy, and
yes, he did. Yeah. He made a video called the Leafy Rant or something like that.
Right. And
where he basically went into why he thinks he's bad, and then showed a bunch of DMs and stuff saying that this guy used to be my friend. And I mean, like I said, Leafy's downfall was justified, but that was kind of, I don't know, a bit shady because showing DMs and stuff, that's I don't think it's okay.
I just think that when I saw the iDubbbz, when I first saw it, I thought it was just hilarious. I laughed my ass off, no doubt. But the thing is, though, looking back on it, I have a feeling that H3 just probably kind of hey, iDubbbz, be a really good content cop. It's hey, H3, of course this will be a great idea, and plus we're friends, so it'd be great. I mean,
yeah, plus I have my own problems. H3, I think his content's gotten worse.
Yes,
I think he's getting narcissistic.
Okay, you know what? There's two things. This is going to be the tangent of the podcast, but okay, I used to like H3 a lot more in the past, but now I don't think I can get behind it as much because okay, here's the biggest. There's two things that really make me feel whoa. It was how his channel just kind of for 4 months dropped nothing, just silence, and I was so oh crap, did he depression?
And he comes back with that Ball Rider video.
Yeah, and I'm what the fuck? And I was just so pissed off because it's I know that from what I understand from what they're coming at, they had to release it because they had that in development, but it was you can't just...
It just feels like he's sold out.
No, but it's I was going to be so okay if he had put that after a video, at the end of a full feature-length, H3 video. But then he was just...
Or just released a video and then maybe a few hours or a day later just released that video.
Exactly.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, I would have been oh shoot, an H3, game, that'd be fun to play, because I was so happy when they did the payday scenes. I thought that'd be kind of interesting, and
I didn't really like that, but I'm it's just weird having them in the Payday franchise.
Yeah,
that's something else.
But the thing is, though, is like, I just didn't like. I liked the podcast up to a point, just because the podcast was, you know, kind of interesting to get to see more him more in his natural state, but it became like cheap, you know. And what I liked about it was his creativity.
Yeah, plus it felt so scripted after a while. Like, I didn't watch it on the regular. I just watched, you know, the episodes I thought were, you know, cool, like the guests.
Yeah, like
I watched the Keemstar episode, I watched the iDubbbz episode, and, you know, a few other ones. And, like, I randomly chose one of the later ones. I don't even know who the guest was. And it just felt like he was sitting there with a script and just saying things that he was supposed to say. Like for example, we, like... Before recording this a few minutes ago, we put down things we wanted to talk about, but we don't have a script or anything. It's like, okay, let's cover these 3 or 4 points this podcast. It felt like over half of what he said was pre-written.
Definitely.
Like, it just didn't feel real.
And, okay, you know what? And this is a matter of just when you're going into a podcast, what do you expect out of it? And I know for him, he's making bank because... I have to think about this, all right?
Lots, yeah.
Like, I remember hearing him one time, it's like, hey, guys, if I get the, what was it, the Goof Troop? The Goof Troop? I'll put $100,000. And I'm like, no, that's a big game. But then I'm thinking about it, it's like, wait a minute. I remember a CGP Grey video talking about how much a video of his makes when it comes up. And it was like $2,000. And thinking about it, it's like, H3 has merch. So he has to get money from that. He has an app. He has, you know, a deal with, you know, Payday. He also has, you know, the podcast, which is live stream, so you get, you know, ads for being there longer than the recordings.
Yeah, and plus it's on Twitch, which has monthly subscribers, and bits, which you can donate, which I'm sure he gets, you know, at least hundreds to thousands in bits per podcast.
And then we haven't even talked about the sponsorships, which are like 10 minutes, and we don't even know how big those are. Those could be around like, you know, $5,000, you know, per sponsor.
I mean, from what I've heard of other creators talking about their sponsorships, like if you give like a minute-long sponsorship, it can be at like somewhere around like $1,000 or $2. You know,
and he's doing
like,
that at least like 5 minutes.
And he gives them. Yeah, he goes long, so that's probably at least a few thousand, like maybe 5,000 or 6,000. And he gives what, like 4 of those a podcast,
yeah,
4 or 5 a podcast,
and then he does it like every week. So I'm thinking like that guy is making at least just from the sponsorships alone, like around 8 or 10 grand, just a week. So
like he probably makes in total maybe around $15,000 a week off that podcast.
So I'm thinking like this guy is making
huge.
Just. I know that probably his net worth right now is somewhere around like, you know, over $500,000, if not, you know, higher,
if not more.
Yeah, because like,
and like that's just not what I see H3 as. You know, like when I started watching him, he was just, you know, another comedy channel, but he was a commentary comedy channel, which was a good blend for the time he was in. And then like he was pretty unique. I think, at least back then, you know, there's copycats nowadays. But,
yeah. I mean,
and then he got big with that Vape Nation video, and that's really where the turning point happened, because he started getting success, and it just seemed to change him. Like he just started, I feel like, getting an ego and starting to, I don't know, be more narcissistic.
I think, in my opinion, and maybe I'm just borrowing this idea from, you know, Karamaru. I need to really pronounce it, but I think it's more of H3 always had this in him, but he never had the chance to let it out because he never had the fame to. And now that now that he has the means to do so, he's just not really. He's kind of like letting it slip up a little once in a while. And you know what really made me feel like, whoa, was the whole when people were coming after him with the PewDiePie thing, because we already know that, you know, the PewDiePie fiasco where he said the N-word on a live stream, and people gave him a lot of you know, rightful shit for it. And
definitely.
But the thing is that in the end, you know, PewDiePie was like, look, I'm sorry, I'm not a racist, I didn't mean that. And I was thinking, okay, maybe H3's just gonna be silent about this, or he's just, you know, gonna maybe support him, like the same thing he did with the Nazi thing, because, you know, he supported him when people called him a Nazi. But what I saw was H3 was saying like, I don't know, you can't just drop the N-bomb. And I was like, what are you talking about? And because I was so confused, like, no, because I remember when he first launched the podcast, like around like episode 3 or so, I don't know, it was like the first 10 episodes around that, when he said the N-bomb and he was like dropping it.
Well, yeah, because he had iDubbbz on, and iDubbbz used to say but not even that. But he was like, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like,
and then like iDubbbz didn't even say it, but H3 was like, oh, so you're known for saying this, which is
like scummy, because it's like, okay, look, it's something you don't want to like tout around. It's something you can say, but it's like you don't want to just walk around and drop the N-bomb all the time. And then he got so comfortable, and the thing is, I wasn't like upset about him saying the N-bomb. I like, to a degree, I really don't care about words. I don't think I want to stop saying it, and I think people should stop saying it, but I'm not going to force people to. But that said, the thing I didn't like was like he was just being such a hypocrite. And
yeah, it just seemed like he went along with what people were thinking, and like, personally, I didn't like that PewDiePie said that.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a good thing to do, and he rightfully got called out for it. And yes, he apologized, but I'm always gonna be like, he didn't do that right. But I mean, some people you just got to move on. And now PewDiePie is like the last symbol of YouTube, so.
But the thing,
everybody's made mistakes.
The thing, and there's a difference though. Like, I respect PewDiePie in the sense that he owns up to his shit. Whereas when H3 was called out on it, he was having a meltdown. Calling out everyone who was like saying like, "Oh, but you guys said this," and I'm like, "Yeah, they did, but they at least owned up to it. Or they at least they took the shit." But he was,
definitely. But I don't know. I unsubbed from him a while back because I just don't want to do that anymore. There's better creators out there.
Yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like, I didn't feel like, I know subs don't really matter anymore on YouTube, but in my eyes, I think that who you're sub to says a lot about what you're okay with, and not so much like what you like, but what you're just like okay with. And I wasn't okay with it after a while, so I just just drop it, like, whatever. Don't need you.
What's it called? Earlier, before I started talking about H3, I wanted to talk about iDubbbz a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing with his channel anymore.
Last time I remember it was like food and toy review, but
no. Now he's just making squirrel videos about the squirrels living in his backyard and his attempt to capture them.
I mean, I don't know. iDubbbz is his own. I know people come to him for Content Cop. That's really like where he gets most of his like paycheck.
I was watching him before Content Cop, back when he made like Kickstarter reviews and stuff like that, and like even his old gaming channel, which hadn't uploaded. Well, he uploaded it onto it like a few months ago, I think, but before that was 3 years ago. So I've been watching him since that time, and I don't know. It just feels like he's doing what Max Mofo did.
I don't know him that much. Can you tell me about the channel?
I mostly know him because of Filthy Frank.
Okay.
He used to collab. Him, iDubbbz, and Frank used to collab a lot in videos. He was a channel that was very similar to Frank's, but about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, he just kind of stopped posting, and now he just makes Pokemon card unpackings.
Wow,
and that's kind of all he does.
Yes, I don't know. Maybe.
And I can kind of understand, because content like what him and Frank used to do wouldn't fly on modern YouTube. But like, even then, it's like, really, Pokemon cards?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm not too sure if it's just me, but it depends on like what kind of creators you like. But I think like most of the creators I really like are all moving on to Twitch, because there's a lot more whatever it goes kind of feel, and you can be more like relaxed. Like, I think we talked about earlier in 12 Days of Tangent how you're a big fan of Germa985, and
I love Germa. He's great.
The thing is, but I would get into it, but I think the problem about this is that I like YouTube because it's short form, but it's highly creative.
Yeah, and Germa's been off YouTube for almost 2 years now, and he does have a channel that uploads. Like, I'm on it now, and it's about 20-minute videos of just the best part of his streams, which are still very good, but you're not going to get the full experience of the stream. You're just going to get the condensed version,
right?
But like, he really couldn't survive on YouTube anymore, because that sort of long form playing of games like just doesn't fly anymore here on YouTube.
Right.
And like he still makes it very entertaining. Like I love watching the guy because he just makes such good jokes, and like his personality is great to watch. But it just doesn't go on YouTube anymore, unfortunately. And like you said, like a lot of the creators are just moving to Twitch because Twitch doesn't have as many rules as YouTube nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Which is
one of the few, like, but there are some who are staying here. Like, I think one channel we both enjoy is Emplemon.
Yeah. But he's a bit of a different case. All right, so I mean, Emplemon is a YouTube pooper, and I didn't really.
He used to be.
Well, yeah, he used to be, but the thing is, I really didn't know much about him, to be honest. I mean, I watched YouTube poops when I was younger, but after a while, I kind of grew out of it. And when I heard that he was still doing it for like 10 years, I was kind of like, in one hand, I was thinking like, wow, he's still doing YouTube poops. But on the other hand, I'm like, he's still doing YouTube poops. That's a lot of time, and no one really watches it that much. So
yeah, like he stopped doing them about. I'm seeing his last one here.
Mm-hmm.
Was about a year ago. And he's made, you know, shorter, just like, you know, shit posts.
Mm-hmm.
But no real big YTPs in about a year. Mostly he's been going into his, you know, minute memes and YouTube Geographic and all that sort of stuff, which is, I think, a good turn because YTPs aren't really popular anymore.
Right.
Even though they're, you know, a big part of my childhood because I loved watching those things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. What's it called? But I think he's making good use of what YouTube is. But even then, like, I'm following him on Twitter, and his most recent video, he's talking about Monday Night Raw because he apparently likes it a lot, and it got immediately copyright strike.
What? Really?
Yeah, and he just said he didn't care if it was striked or anything. So he let the Monday Night Raw people just put their ads on it and claim all money for it because he just wanted to put the video up. But now that it's a 35-minute video, and he said he spent, you know, probably like 24 hours working on that video, and now he's gonna get nothing for it because of how YouTube works.
I don't know. This is like, now, as we're talking about YouTube, the thing I always think about, and maybe I'm being just idealistic here, but one of the things I always wonder is if there was like a way for people to make their own kind of like YouTube. But here's the problem I always think about whenever I think about that is whenever I think about creating your own like YouTube that would be better for creators, the only thing that I thought ever worked or would work at all would be Patreon. But the reason why that doesn't really work
Patreon's been, you know, doing their stuff recently.
Right. But the thing is, I don't feel like it would work really well because the main problem is there's two big problems. A, hosting, and then B, you need a network. It's like there's a chicken and egg problem with joining a network. You need people to join, but to get people to join, you need people to be there to make content. And whenever I saw VidMe coming up around 2016, I was like, oh heck yeah, finally we have like something new, a new competitor. I was really happy, but around like the end of
it just
died, and I was disappointed. I was sad, and I really didn't blame I can't blame the team. It's not their fault, but
no, it's not. It's just that YouTube is so hegemonic.
You can't
in its power. You can't compete unless you're someone like Amazon or some other huge company, like startups, because YouTube is basically a monopoly.
Yeah. You can't really host a video.
You can't fight
Vimeo, it. But even then, it's like no one's really
because you're gonna get no views. Like no one cares,
right?
Because they can get everything they want on YouTube. Why would they go anywhere else?
And that's the thing. It's more of a. There's two things that happen. It's like A, it's the network effect. If everyone's on YouTube, and I'm not gonna say that I'm above this. Like if everyone's on YouTube, then you want to go to YouTube because you know that if you're gonna find something interesting, it's probably gonna be there. And that's what, you know, Google wants you to make it, because otherwise it's going to be hard for them to make money, and YouTube barely even makes any money if they even do at all. So because they're all in this really weird space where they're technically, some of the stuff that they're doing is illegal, but it still gets by because everyone's getting paid one way or another. So it's it's still a shame though, because I think there's some alternatives that come around recently, and for listeners, this is a bit more like kind of technical, but there was some stuff called federated and decentralized video hosting platforms, which is all fancy talk for when you watch a video, you download it on your side instead of just streaming it.
Yeah.
And there's one thing called PureTube, which works well, but the thing is that while PureTube exists, the problem is, A, if you don't have good bandwidth, you're gonna have a hard time, and B, if there's no creators that are popular there except for alt-right people who want to like have a way to distance themselves from being connected to Google, which makes sense because if I wanted to make sure I can post whatever I want and not have to worry about like community guidelines, I would probably just go over to PureTube. But
even then, that makes it a problem because if you post there, you're going to be like associated with those people.
Exactly. So you see the problem. You want to join something else, but you realize that if you do, then people think that you're something that you're not. So that's where the situation lies in, where you want to separate, but you can't because everyone's like, "Why would you separate? Everything's good here," even though it isn't.
Yeah, I think the way it's going to have to be solved is like, laws are going to have to come into effect where they can recognize like internet monopolies, basically like trust laws will have to affect these new tech companies.
Whoa, wait, do you think that trust
what I'm
law
saying
would
is
ever
break up Silicon Valley?
Okay, so, little side tangent. Do you think that any of these like antitrust laws could ever work again? Because the only people I feel that would
I want them to. You're
probably gonna have to go to Europe to ask them for help with that, and even then they're gonna go overboard.
God, don't let the Europeans near our like bureaucracy, because then the Germans will it up and make it too complicated. Okay?
Oh, whoa, okay. Well,
listen, somebody resurrect Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, he needs to come in and break up some trusts.
Oh, speaking of Teddy, and YouTube. Remember ERB, Epic Rap Battles?
Yeah, you mean that channel I haven't seen in 2 years?
Yeah, okay, the only reason I bring this up is because I think that's a prime example of the problem with YouTube. And then you know what? Let me check if there was a video again, but I remember watching a little while ago a video questioning whether quality or quantity is the meta of YouTube. Because
definitely quantity.
That's the thing, because one of the things that this channel brought up is that beforehand, if you had a really good video like ERB that posted once it was like once a month really, you would still get like millions of views, and the thing is, views matter at that time, so it was kind of worth it. That said, nowadays it seems to be the meta has changed, and I say like meta because it's kind of like a game that everyone has to play, really. So when I'm thinking about this stuff, and I'm thinking, okay, if I want to like create a new YouTube channel right now, what would be the things I would do? Oh, here it was. The video's called "Why YouTube Used to Prefer Quality" by Tudd, and it was posted in 2017. So it's a bit of an older video, but it was basically beforehand that if you created something that put your time and effort into it, and you refined it to the point where it's beyond just the average YouTube quality, you would be rewarded for it. And now I don't know how I feel about it, because it makes me feel even worse, because I remember going to my class not today, but on Friday, and my professor called us content creators, us game designers, character designers, video photographers, and web designers and developers. And when he said the word content creator, I felt like a sense of disgust, because it felt like my job is the work of feeding people mindless, filler, kind of like the sludge that you saw in the Matrix when they were freed.
Yeah.
And looking at that and hearing that word, and that's the official term now, I couldn't help but feel just so disappointed in not only myself but just the world, because I like to believe that the word creator should be emphasized more, but I feel like what's more important is just the content, and it's not so much the quality as much but the frequency. Now, if you can get both, then you're basically a god, and you deserve your fame, because that's what happens. If you can balance quality and quantity and do it on a frequent basis,
but who does that anymore?
It's hard. I've seen a couple channels that have done it, and usually what they do is they have podcasts throughout the week, but on like the weekends they would have a full length video that would be probably like 5 or 10 minutes, but it was really good. So it was like a nice balance for the algorithm, where I still want to come back to them for the weekends at the very least. And if there's something good that happens on the week, like live stream, then it's even better.
Yeah, what's it called? And like, there's examples of that sort of thing. Like, if we look at PewDiePie, who's the biggest channel,
right?
He uploads daily, and it's all like 10 to 20 minute videos, which is what the algorithm loves. It's all usually like there's capitals in the title with these big thumbnails. Like, he's mastered how the algorithm works. And then if you look at a channel like say, I don't know, JonTron, or someone like my favorite channel, one of my favorite channels, Miracle of Sound. They take months to upload, and I'm on Miracle of Sound's channel right now, and he used to get millions of views per video. Like even a year ago, he got 2 million views on one of his songs. But now, if I look at one released, say 3 months ago, it has 300,000.
Oh,
and like, that is kind of sad to see, because like, this guy puts so much work into it, and it's his whole job, and yet just because he uploads slowly, the algorithm just says no, you're not allowed.
Which is why I think like now, being on these platforms, it's not just YouTube. I know that we're like bashing YouTube, but I also want to say that Instagram and Twitter and other social networks have the same problem. Is that they value frequency and time. So the more frequent and the more current a channel is, the more it's rewarded, because it incentivizes the channel and the viewers to come back on a daily basis, which means that you get more money, because if you put ads on a daily basis, that's more potential clicks, that's more potential turnover and conversions. So it makes money for YouTube and the creator. But it also comes at the cost of how much time you get to put into it. And there's only so much time. I mean, we're humans. If there was I feel like if YouTube knew how to make a content creation machine, they would, if they could make it with like AI. But at the moment, we're humans.
They're probably trying to.
They're probably.
But like for example, Miracle of Sound, about 4 years ago, he's putting out video after video within like a few weeks of each other. One here has 6.8 million views. This one has 4.3. This one has 2. This one has 2.4, and like all that. And then it's all really good quality work. And then he comes out like 2 months later saying, "Yeah, I've got tinnitus from doing this too much."
Whoa.
So like he put out quality work fast, but at the expense of his health. Now he's got that for the rest of his life. And if you don't know what tinnitus is, viewers, or maybe Ejon, it's basically where you'll always hear this sort of like, if you're in a very quiet room and you listen, you'll hear this kind of like background sound if you listen closely enough. Mm-hmm. Tinnitus is basically you hear that at all times because your eardrums are damaged.
I guess maybe it's because he plays a lot of rock, so yeah.
Well, not just rock. Like he put out like rock, like there's a jazz one here, there's like a punk one here, there's like a more solemn, sad one here, but just dealing with so many instruments at all times, and he has to play loud, so it translates well into the song. It just messes with your ears.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you just really can't do it. If you're mastering and trying to go out and make a full performance every week, it's straining, first of all, and you have to have the fortitude. So just hearing that, and now he has tinnitus, that's a tragedy, honestly.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, it makes it feel, I don't know, it makes you feel better to still be like supporting a guy, even though he makes less content now. It's all still quality. It just comes out slower because he has to go at a slower pace. But what's it called? But my point here, other than to advertise one of my favorite music creators, is like YouTube nowadays if you need to make a good amount of work, but if you want to put out make it all quality, it's gonna come at either the cost of your health, probably like your relationships, or all of your time.
Yeah, and that's really just the nature of creating. It's a lot of give and take, what you're willing to sacrifice, and what you want out of it. But I always think that one of the things about this show that I always thought, because whenever I'm building it, is what I want more or less is the ability to say that I can build consistently good things and I can live a balanced life. And it's because I mean, one of the things that I take pride in is because there's frequency, there's an urgency, and it makes me feel that whenever I edit, it's a lot more creative work that I usually ever do. So that it makes me happy. But because of that, it does take up time. I mean, there's times when I'm like, hey, I would hang out, or not so much hang out, but like I would watch this anime right now, but you know what? I want to put some hours in and get this, show edited out. Mm-hmm. But whenever you're like doing this for your job, I can't even really imagine like if podcasting was my full-time job, I don't think I would, function well. I feel like I had to outsource that. Because like not even Joe Rogan does any of his editing anymore. He just goes in and he has this list of questions, but he's a good interviewer, and then he just outsources it, the editing, and mastering to
most big time podcasters have actual dedicated editors, or like multiple people doing it, just because it takes so long.
But yeah, that's it's just the nature of like building. It's entertainment. It's a lot of cost to the people creating it, and but it's rewarding, I think, at the least.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably one of our longest tangents of like all time. That was like over 30 minutes.
Jesus, okay, that was like half.
So let's get to the points we want to talk about today.
This is what we're called Tangent Podcast.
Yeah, this is what we're named. So what do you want to start with? Minecraft, architecture, or cooking?
Yeah. Okay. So. Actually, yeah, let's talk about Minecraft architecture since we're talking about gaming.
Okay. So Ejon, he has a Minecraft server, which we might include as a option on the Patreon.
I gotta learn how to. I gotta remember how to create a Minecraft server.
We can make a Tangent Podcast Minecraft server as one of our reward tiers.
I feel when we hit like a certain amount of patrons per. That we hit, like say we hit like maybe if we hit like maybe around like 70 patrons, I'll create a Minecraft server. I'll do that. Just because like I wouldn't want to create it for just like 3 people. No offense to 3 people who really want it, but I would want at least 10 people that would come in on a weekly basis.
Definitely, and I'd probably show up, like on Fridays on my days off, just show up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then I'd go around and just like blow somebody's house up because I have admin privileges. I sure am selling this, aren't I?
I'm going to be the creator. I'm just going to rebuild.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, Ejon is God and I'm Satan, and I go around and I'm like, "Listen, Jimmy, you need to go and pour lava in his house," and Jimmy go, "But why?" And I go, "Cause it's funny."
No, on this Christian Minecraft server, you can't say the F word.
Okay,
Mr.
okay.
Obama.
Okay, so I tell you a story. On one of my friend's old Minecraft servers on the Xbox 360, he was the like admin of the server. So once he comes over and he's in like creative mode, and he flies over, and I'm in survival. I think I was making a mob generator, like a mob spawner. What's it called? And he comes over and just destroys the mob spawner block. And I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, haha, now I have the only mob spawner within our city. And I'm like, dude, why'd you do that? And he goes, haha, and leaves. Or it was something like that. This was years ago. And I know that he listens to this. So he's going to come and be like, that's not how it happened. I'm a good guy. I am expecting that text.
Okay.
What's it called? But then I decide, okay, I've got to get revenge. And I go up to his big mansion. And I get out a flint and steel.
Okay.
And a lava bucket. And I first burn his roof, which is like wool.
Okay.
And pour lava everywhere else. And all of his chests burn. Everything burns. and then I just go back to my house like nothing happened. and then through, because he was like out mining, like or something like that, and he comes back, and I look over and I just see there's lava just pour, because he built the thing as like there were stairs going up, so it's kind of like a floating house, and there's just lava falling out of it, and the entire roof is just there's the last few blocks are burning off, and he's just like, who the fuck did this?
Oh god.
And I just kind of chuckle into my mic. He's like, Jeff, I know it was you. And I'm like, you got no proof. And he's like, I know it was you. And he comes over and just blows up my house.
Oh, well.
And then he figures out that all of his like loot is gone, because he had dozens of chests.
Oh.
Because he had been on that server for like 2 years.
Oh god.
and then he just closes the world without saving and reloads his save from like the day before.
Smart. Yeah,
but it was so funny.
Oh my god.
I just enjoy burning things down. Yes, and I was not invited back for like 2 months. And when I came back, he checked my he like, because on the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft, there are privileges.
Right.
Like this person can do blah blah blah. He basically blocked me from placing any TNT blocks, owning a flint and steel, and placing lava.
Oh.
But I got around it because he was making a new skyscraper.
All right.
And the bottom floor was a glass floor with lava underneath. So what I did was, by the one entrance, I broke all of the glass. and next time he came into it, he walked forwards, not thinking, fell into lava, and lost all of his diamond gear.
Oh god.
And there's just me just cackling while I run out of the city at full speed into the desert, hoping he doesn't kill me again. And then he teleports to me, instantly kills me, and bans me again.
Oh god.
It was so much fun. And listen, if you give us money, you can have that too.
We can build this experience for all of us to enjoy.
But like I was saying, Minecraft architecture.
Oh yes.
Ejon sends me this picture, and it's kind of like disgusting.
Okay, okay.
Listen, it's like all cobblestone. This is not okay.
Okay. So what are some things? Because right now I decided to use some of the stone bricks now. All right. So
okay, like stone bricks would really help out, and I think like, because this building is supposed to look kind of archaic, I think, from what you're saying, from what I'm seeing here. So I think vines would really help out a lot.
Vines.
And then also like support beams via stone. Like on the left here, you have this sort of like rectangular structure.
So the rectangular,
hold up this bridge.
Yeah. Okay. So
and like just having either wood like diagonally going through it to form like an X to sort of stabilize it, or having wood on the corners, which is more of a generic one, but it's easier to do, would just sort of spice it up, because right now it's a completely cobblestone like cube, which is terrible looking, because cobblestone in itself is bad for building, I think, unless you're trying to look terrible,
right?
Which is a style. I only ever really used cobblestone if I was out of other kinds of stone, or if I was trying to build roads.
No, this is creative,
because cobblestone looks good for roads.
Yeah.
But I think gravel looks better, but that's me.
Yeah, for roads, I don't like it because it's the sound that makes me... I just don't like the sound.
I like the sound.
You just like...
Gravel sounds nice.
The ASMR gravel, yeah. But...
That like nice, crunch sound. Oh, it's nice.
Oh, God, no. It's not how you go.
You just got bad taste.
Maybe I do just have shit taste. But
what I'm saying is that even though on our Minecraft server, I would just destroy things sometimes, I would have the best house.
Wow.
And if anyone ever touched it, I would listen.
Okay, what would you do, honestly?
Honestly, I would probably teleport the player underground into a specially made torture cell.
Oh god.
Which is a combination of lava, fire, and TNT a block away from the fire.
Jesus.
But the only way you get out is by breaking a sand block in front of you, which then drops all of the TNT and kills you. So the only way to get out is to die. And I teleport the player when I know they just came back from like a mining trip.
Oh.
Don't touch my house.
So,
or you will die.
What I do is I'm gonna go ahead, join the server, all right? Get enough gear just to blow your stuff out, and then just when you think I'm gonna go on a mining trip, all right? I'm just gonna get some TNT, and just blow myself out of there. I know you're thinking there's TNT already there. Well, what I would do is get a potion of regeneration and fire resistance, and I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll put it above the void. Checkmate.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Listen, don't touch my house.
He just wants to see me die and burn.
I do just want to see people burn in a cage in front of me.
Wow.
I'm on a list now.
Oh god. We're definitely on a list. You should have got a VPN. Like today's sponsor. No.
I wish. NordVPN, please sponsor us.
Actually, it's funny because I am using NordVPN because I do enjoy the product.
I don't use VPNs. I'm a plebeian.
Yeah, you're okay. I think
if Nord sponsored us, I would use them.
I'll tell you this. All right, I think I like Nord for two reasons. It's simple to use, and I'm giving them free press right now. But here's the thing. All right, if you don't have a VPN, and this can be for anyone, you can go for pure VPN. You can go for private internet access. I just prefer Nord. But if you don't get one, it's like going on the internet. And dare I say, without a condom. And if you want to stay safe surfing the web,
this is such a great ad.
It is such a great.
NordVPN is like condoms.
It's a condom for your internet. You don't want to get screwed over by your ISP. We'll get started today.
But how do you sell this to women?
Easy. NordVPN is like a chastity belt.
That's even worse. That's like restrictive, and like that makes it sound like NordVPN only lets you go to like AOL.com. Okay.
I think that's even worse. I think about it, but okay, no. How would you do it for advertise for women? Since I'm going to go for
just call it like I don't know, birth control or something like that. Not a fucking chastity belt.
Birth control sounds like you already got infected anyway.
Well, because you probably are, because you weren't using NordVPN.
Why are we doing this for NordVPN? Maybe this should
sponsor us.
No, we're not that desperate. All right, we can.
Yeah, because we were just talking about a topic they would love: Minecraft architecture.
Oh God.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. What do you want to talk about? Which one?
Just to close out. Right now, my Minecraft architecture is it needs some work. Maybe eventually I'll have a Minecraft server for him to just jump on, and we can just go ahead and build this before he blows it up and sends me to the void.
Send you straight to hell.
Not even hell. Hell would be fired. At least I can smoke up something.
The abyss.
Okay. Minecraft architecture. Podcast.
What's it called? I want to talk about how Ejon has to make a song cover by the end of January.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Wow. I'm thinking about this. It is right now January 13th, and we're recording this. I have about exactly 3 weeks to record and publish a song by the end of January for Burn My Dread, an acoustic cover. Because the reason I made this bet is because I want to challenge myself to learn skills that I would not usually give myself the chance to, because I don't... Okay, I want to be dedicated to something, but there's not enough of a motivator. And I think that's the same for all of us. Like, for example, people want to learn a second language. Well, no one's stopping you from not practicing today. So that's the thing. But for me, by posting on Twitter and say, hey, I got to post this a video of Burn My Dread by this day.
And I retweeted it, so now he has to do it.
Or else. And I don't know what or else is. I don't think I put money on it. But basically, I have to put it up there because I don't want my honor to be, tainted. And I can't really change it because you retweeted it, so I can't say like, actually, I'm going to change it to February 3rd.
And plus, before we started, I was talking about if he does do it in time, I would provide the vocals.
Yeah, that's right. So,
and I'm sure you all enjoyed my 12 Days of Christmas last time. You'd love to hear it again.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, right now, okay. Here's the thing, though. Here's the problem. Okay, whenever you're going for a song. Especially anime. This is mostly an anime problem. Anime guitar...
Excuse me, it's a video game?
No, okay, well, it's based in Japan, so I'm gonna... And it also has a lot of anime elements. And it has an anime adaptation, but... Regardless, whenever it's like a... no. Okay, look, here's the thing. If it was like Final Fantasy, there would definitely be guitar chords I can right now use in practice. But
yeah.
But the thing is because it's not obscure, but it's not popular enough.
It's just old.
Yeah, it's an old 2009 game. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I think it was 2007 or 8.
Right. Right now, I'm trying to think of like how do I play the song. The only way I'm doing it right now is by ear, and I've been able to get like I think the first 3 chords are C, B flat, and A flat.
Yeah, but after that, you're gonna have a
then it's the melody. Yeah. So I gotta learn the melody, which is by finger picking. That one's a little bit easier to do because I just need to know the actual notes. But the chord is kind of difficult. So right now, if anyone here who's listening to the show plays guitar, it can give me any pointers because I don't really know how to play guitar. I just wanted to do this because I want to learn how to play guitar. I want to learn an instrument, and I thought guitar would be the best way to, get back into the habit of learning and practicing instruments because I know how to play trumpet. But if anyone knows how to do that, please send me a message on Twitter at eJohnWinter because I can need as much as help I can.
Here's an acoustic cover of that song. You could probably learn from that.
Yeah, that's the one that I tried using. But
there's another one I found as well that could be good.
There's one that's electric that I found.
You mean this one?
Yeah. Yep. That's the one. That's the one I've been looking at his fingers. Okay. The thing is like looking at their fingers and trying to like understand what was the chord that he played, and the first guy is.
I think I just found the tabs.
Maybe today is the day I'm gonna finally find all the tabs.
I can't read this though because I can't read music.
Okay, so here's the thing about reading tabs like this. This is it's kind of hard because it's not like notes. If this was written like in notes, I would probably understand it. But
okay, I've got 2 other places that say they have it. How about this one?
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, then maybe this one.
Songster, that one I tried, and Chordify. So, yeah, I'm looking through these 2. These are the 3 that I've been like switching around. So hopefully, I might be able to get it. Otherwise, it's not an otherwise thing. It's a have to do thing. So, I just hope that I can eventually get to it. So yeah, listeners, hold me accountable, help me out. If anyone knows how to play guitar and give me tips, I can use it. Right now I'm using an acoustic, so that way I won't, mess up my neighbor's eardrums with the electric. But yeah, it's all good.
But it's for the full version, not the intro version. So you just play up to where the intro ends.
Yeah, that's really okay, for listeners, I'm not playing the full song. No, 90 seconds max. Nah. But
And I think the regular song is just 90 seconds, but they made a full version as well. So yeah, the regular song is 1:36.
Yeah, there's only also another thing when I look at guitar tabs, here's the thing I always wonder when I see like this giant long bar on the 4th fret and they're saying 1 1 1 1 all over it. I always think like someone has to have the longest index finger because I don't know how that makes any sense.
Or did they I think it just means that you move it, maybe, or.
See, this is what I mean. Like
Well, I think it means strum, possibly.
Ooh, maybe I'll have to figure it out.
I would just test it out. I don't know. Like, I'm not much of a guitar player. I can play the bass, but it's different.
You can play the bass?
Not really. I mean, I can kind of play it. I'm not great.
Okay,
but I mostly invented my own style of playing the bass.
All right.
Which is basically using my right thumb and thwacking the strings to get the sound I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I press down on the strings sometimes, but there's only 4 strings on a bass, so it's a lot easier.
Oh, wait, I got an idea. Listeners, if we get ourselves, if the next couple episodes get anywhere from like 200 downloads, we'll try by the beginning of summer, hopefully, to get a fun official theme song for Tangent Podcast with me on acoustic, Jeff on bass, and his brother on drums.
Yeah, and I can sing too, because I've done that before. So
this is gonna be great. We can like make a
we can go like strum Tangent Podcast or something terrible, something like that. Okay, let me just go over the last thing I really wanted to talk about.
Sure thing.
Which was I've been cooking recently.
Oh yeah, you've been saucing
past few weeks. Yeah. What's it called? Because I got tired of going out to eat and eating my parents' cooking because they're like, no offense, mom and dad, because I know you I know you guys listen to this, but your cooking isn't like amazing.
Whoa.
It's okay, but like I cook better, in my personal opinion.
Wow. Okay.
Plus I cook a lot of different recipes, and I don't make meatballs with spaghetti like twice a week like how you guys used to. So throwing shade at my own parents right now.
Okay. Okay. So
what's it called?
They're gonna be like, okay, chef, since you're such a good chef, I guess you can find your ingredients on your own, and you're also your own kitchen.
What's it called? Well, if they say that, then I'm gonna stop cooking. So they can start cooking again, which I'm sure they'd love after coming home from a hard day of work.
I always like cooking for my family. It always makes me feel like proud.
Yeah, and like I've been cooking a bunch of different stuff. Like one of my first recipes was a beef bowl, which is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really simple, honestly. The only thing is we don't have dashi stock here in America, or at least I haven't found any. So I just make my own substitute with beef bouillon cubes and soy sauce. Which is similar in taste from what I've read online. But now, like, one of my most recent recipes that I really enjoyed was Dan noodles, with these special kind of noodles with like peanut butter and peppercorns and pork. And that probably didn't sound good, like all that together, but it was delicious. So I've just really been enjoying cooking because it's like I can make something that other people enjoy. And seeing it all come together from the basic ingredients is very enjoyable. So, yeah, that's been fun. So,
I mean, talking about cooking just a little bit, I don't know any recipes.
Can you boil water?
Yes.
Well, then you can make like rice.
Oh yeah, no, I know how to cook. Like I can cook rice, I can cook eggs, I can mix them together.
You don't have any like family recipes?
No,
I mean I have those.
No, not one, not really. Everything I know, actually no. There's maybe no, not really. There's no recipes that we know. My family is all extemporaneous cooking.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
That friend we were talking about, the one who I put lava in his house, just decided to text me, saying that he just watched the podcast.
Maybe he's listening to us record.
So yeah. What's it called? Yeah, but like, I don't know. I thought your family would have at least one recipe, from your original, country.
Well,
in Panama, like your mom would have something.
Well, okay. Well, actually, if you're thinking about like that, then yeah. But we don't have like I don't think we have like a set recipe.
Like a signature.
Yeah, we don't have a signature. There's nothing really the signature that we have, but we do have like cultural dishes that we have. We have like bags and empanadas. But those are like come out like once in a blue moon. Those are not something that we just like, hey, let's just make some empanadas today. It would be nice, but it's something like we have to take some time to like plan ahead.
Yeah, like for example, my family they came over from Germany like 150 years ago, and we still have a few things. Like my dad likes to make traditional bratwursts and stuff like that, but our family has a really good taco recipe that we've been making for like 40 years now.
Whoa, okay.
And I know how to make it, and it's very good. But it's very spicy as well. But I have to tone it down for the rest of my family because they can't eat it if I make it as spicy as I want, because my heat tolerance is a lot more than theirs. So, but it's very good. I think it's very tasty. So. But that's kind of where I learned to cook, but I didn't really start cooking myself till recently.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, because I've been cooking that meal since I was like 10 or 11. I didn't cook it, myself back then because my parents didn't let me, cut onions because they were afraid I'd, cut off my finger or something like that.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
I mean, I did cut myself the other day cutting onions, so there was a gash through my thumb right now.
Oh,
so well, not through it. That sounds like I cut my thumb in half.
I thought you
no,
slashed your thumb.
It's. I mean, I did, It's just on the tip of my thumb. I've got a slash from one end to the other. So, because the onion slipped, and I got in my knife tasted blood for the first time. So,
wow.
Well, human blood, I should say. It has tasted animal blood many times.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, my knives are always blunt enough where I don't have to worry about it, but I don't like to play around with it. You know, it's one fear that I always had because of a horror movie. Since we're talking about blades, I always had the fear that eventually, okay, it's mostly whenever I'm like, you know, cleaning up and putting dishes down, like the trash disposal, you know, garbage disposal in the sink. One of my biggest fears is that something's gonna get clogged up, and I turned off the electricity so it shouldn't move. But whenever I unclog it, it's gonna start back up again, and my fingers are too close.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the actual, like, I am dead serious. Like, oh please, like anything like a fast blade that's in a circular motion. I'm like, I do not want to be.
Probably hate blenders.
Okay, it depends. Like, okay, a good example would be food processors. I'm actually kind of like, I am very gingerly touching them. I don't like to get too close. NutriBullets are like those little like you know, blend ninjas or those little things I'm okay with because they're so pre-packaged for you to not cut your fingers. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, well, I'm getting tired and I want to go to sleep. So
same. It's 10:40.
It's 10:40. Yeah, and I got class tomorrow. So
same here. I got 9:30.
Thank you all for watching the Tangent Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching us talk.
yeah. Thank you for watching the still image in the background or just downloading, whatever. Hope you tune in next week. We should be putting these out on Sundays, I believe. At least that's what I think our schedule is, right?
Right now is every 10 days. So we posted on the 13th, so this will come around the 23rd.
Okay, well, hello people on the 23rd future. I'll probably be doing work that day because it'll be Sunday.
And I'm probably going to be doing work, both hopefully for a client. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for watching again. We are on iTunes, YouTube. Where else are we on? I don't know.
We're on Google Play, but more importantly, we're on our website at tangentpodcast.com, where we post our episodes, and hopefully we might start blogging soon, just like some little small posts. Who knows? Maybe we post our memes there. We might be doing something like that.
I mean, I've mostly been posting memes I like to Twitter, which you should follow me at T Krogan and Ejon at Ejon Winter.
Yeah.
Although have fun spelling that.
Don't worry.
It's YJANG.
No, you spelling my full name. Actually, they should know my first name because I write it out every time on the podcast.
Yeah, and it's in your Twitter handle.
My name is we should do that for the next episode, or my name, how it became to be.
Well, my name has a story too, because I'm the third. I'm the third one in my family with my name.
Tune in next episode as we talk about the origin of our names. Until then,
find out next time
on Dragon Ball Z.
We had the same idea. All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.